Hello, hello, my friends. Hello, hello. It's Jodie Harvala. I am a psychic medium, Fargo Moorhead area, and we are on day 28 of our 31 days of spirit. Had a couple snafus yesterday, so thank you for sticking with me. The rainstorm, we had this really long, big rainstorm that lasted a couple days here in Fargo, and it is created some chaos for my little she shed. So we are working on it. And Eli works all day, so we only have so much time in the evenings. So we're going to work on it again tonight. So you can see I'm in the house again, but we have what we need now to fix it. So tomorrow I should be back in my little she shed. All right, say hello in the comments. Let me know you can hear me and see me okay. I'll give you a couple minutes here to jump on. I should see if my phone is off. Make sure my ringer is off. There we go. There we go. All right, hello, hello, my friends. Now we got some people jumping on. We made it through the holidays. I hope you guys had a good holiday. We are stepping into the new year. Some of you are feeling that energy and that emotion coming up. And I have some homework for you today. So we'll talk about it in just a second. Hello, hello, ladies. Good to see you all. This is always a funny week to me. I like to do a lot of the word of the years during this week because I'm really in the energy of the new year. And so I just finished those. They will be going. I'm going to wait to email them until I know that I have strong internet because I don't want to have to re-email all of them. So hang tight. If you did a word of the year, they'll be out by tomorrow. They're all done. I just need to get them out to you. And then we'll be mailing out the photos of your power animal as well. Not we, me. I'll be mailing those out. So they're coming as promised by New Year's Day, a couple days early, so you can sit with the energy of them. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. There we go. Now we got people jumping on. It's one of those weeks. You don't know where you are. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you should be doing. So thank you for joining me. Okay, so today I had kind of a little idea that popped in. So I'm going a little bit off of script of what I was going to talk about because this feels more fun to me. And a lot of us are already in. I was in a class last night for a little bit before my internet went down again. I was just talking to a friend about all of this. And what I want to do, because we just have today, we have tomorrow, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday left of our 31 days of spirit. And so I thought on Sunday that I would do a live burning session in my little she shed in my wood burning stove and do an end of the year burning for you guys. So here's how I want to do it. And if you're watching the replay, you absolutely can do this. Here, let me put this in the link as well. Yeah, it is fun. I've done it before and it works really slick, actually. But you got to do it in a couple steps. So first thing, if you want me to print off and put your stuff in my fire, because I have a pretty cool fire, then I want you to go ahead and email me everything that you want to let go of for 2023. And I do this almost every year. I know even in my class I took last night, they were doing some of that release side because you want to find a completion for the year before you move into the new year. But here's the thing. So if you want me to burn something, I'll print it off and I'll burn it. I do not have to read it. I'll just print it and I'll just put in the subject line, burn, baby, burn. Then I will know to print it and put it in my pile to burn on Sunday together at noon. But I also want you not only to journal on a piece of paper or, send the stuff that you want me to burn, but I also want you for your own journal and for the stuff that you want to keep, I actually want you to go through some of the highlights because I don't think people do that. I think they are ready to go for the new year. They don't pay much attention to the highlights. They pay attention to what they didn't get done or the shit that happened or like, oh my God, let's move on. And I know some of you had a really fucking great year. And so I want you to take some time and pay attention to that. I had a great year. And one of the things, and I'm going to put a post up on this and then you guys can do the same, is I went through, I take a lot of photos. That's one thing that I've gotten really good at over the years is I take a lot of photos. So I kind of went back in my phone. I think it was on Christmas Eve I did this. And I saved a bunch of pictures from some of my favorite moments. And I have so many pictures. And so I have so many favorite moments. And I did a lot this year. Like I went to a lot of different cool places. And so I'm going to do a post on that. And then if you guys want to also go through your photos and share one of your favorite photos of the year, maybe it's something you did on your own. Maybe it's something you're proud of. Maybe it's something, but I want it to be about you. Not your kids, not your hubby or your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend or your dog or your cat or your lizard or any of that. I want it to be a photo of you. And that might be tough to find in your photos. I actually do selfies and stuff like that because if I died tomorrow, I want my kids to have pictures of me. So I get in the photos. That's been a thing for me. I remember when my dad passed, I had like 9 photos of him. And I just thought, what the hell? Because he always was behind the camera, as a lot of parents are. And I just thought, screw that. I want photos. And so I definitely take photos. But I want you to find a photo. And if you don't have a photo of yourself, then I want you to take a selfie of yourself and I want you to share it. And because you're the highlight of the year, right? And if you did something really cool, like I have a couple of photos that I either had other people take or I did a selfie or something of some really magical moments. Because here's the thing that I find when you have these magical, cool moments that you do in your year and you share with us, that inspires us to go do some of those things too. So y'all know last year I went to several national parks in Montana and 3 parks and Big Sky and different things like that. And I hiked and I did all this cool stuff. And I got a lot of those ideas from different people that I saw post on Facebook. And I do like national park groups and stuff like that. And I found those cool places because I was inspired by other photos that other people took. And I'm like, damn, I want to do that. And so I want you guys to post a picture. I think you can only do one picture when you do a post, but post a picture of something that inspired you, that was super cool, that was super fun, that meant something to you, that was a highlight of your year. And when you go back in your photos, you're going to notice you have a lot more highlights than you do the shit. And sometimes it is a shitty year. It is. I know that. I've had those years where I'm like, screw this year. I am done. I am moving forward. And when you have a really fun year, like I had a really fun year, I'm like, I want to spend some time with those photos and the memories. And I sent a couple notes out to people where I was like, oh my God, this is my best picture of the year. I love it. So I want you guys to pay some attention to that. And then the shit that you want to burn, the shit that you want to let go of, the shit that really irritated you or frustrated you, I want you to journal that out in an email, send it to me with the subject line that says burn, baby, burn. I will print it out and I will do a burn ceremony on Sunday. Okay. Because I think we need to have a completion. And then Sunday, we can talk about some fun things that you can do to set your intentions into the new year. Okay. How does that feel? Brittany said, oh my God, yes, it was so fun watching you and was great ego shadow work for me too, to not be jealous, but recognize that I will get there too, right? And sometimes it takes a long time to get there. I've wanted to do a trip like that, I think all my life, honestly. And I turned 50 this year and it was a great goal. And I didn't even know it was going to happen until I had it scheduled. And I was like, damn, look what I'm doing this year. And a lot of times my stuff is really geared around work. But I've learned to wrap my work into my play. And for me, that works. That it's one of the bonuses of doing what I do. And I've heard so many women talk about how those photos of me sharing inspired them. And I've heard how it does create some of that jealousy piece. But if you can shift your jealousy into inspiration, like that's the trick. And I have a mentor. I follow her. She does amazing things. And I definitely used to get jealous. And then I was like, hold on a sec. And we had this talk, her and I had this talk. And I was like, you do all these damn things that I want to do and I can't do them or I can't afford them or blah, 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 whatever my story was. And she's like, well, why don't you just let it inspire you instead? And I was like, well, that's a much better perspective. That's a much better way to look at it. And I used to be jealous of all sorts of things with all sorts of people. And then I thought, well, if they can do it, I can figure that out too. And so whenever I feel that little jealousy thing or like, I want to be able to do that, I let it inspire me and I let it start to steer me like, hey, I want to do that too. Or I want to do something similar, or I don't want to do that, but I want to do this. And let that energy start to move you and guide you into a different direction. Because jealousy doesn't do anything for you except piss you off, and it won't help you. It gives you insight for sure. And it gives you insight that you need to turn your perspective elsewhere so you can go into the direction of where you want to go, not stay stuck where you are. And it's taken me many years to be able to do a trip like that. So I feel like I love watching people on trips. I love it. I had one friend that she went to, now let me think where she went. I think she went to the North Pole. I think she went to the North Pole or the South. I think she went to the South Pole. I think she went to the South Pole. I don't know. She went to one of the poles. And that entire trip, every day, one of my highlights of my day was to see her photos, because happily she was able to share almost every day, which was shocking with how far out in the world they were and in the ocean and all this kind of stuff. And it was so fun to watch. And what I got from that was, I was like, that was so fun to watch. It looks like very rough waters. I don't know how I would do on that. I don't know if I need to take that trip, but I am so glad I took that trip with her. And so I think it is really fun to share that kind of stuff. And there are people that are like, oh my God, why do you post so many pictures? Why do I need pictures of your food? Well, you don't look at them. I don't care. I have another friend that when they go on trips cracks me up. It cracks me up. Her husband is a foodie. And when you go to see their pictures of their trip, 95% of the pictures are of food. And it's so funny to me. And what I love about it is he'll explain the meal and he just loves it. And he's so detailed and you can just tell his joy in the experience. And I'm all for that. I'm like, I'll look at food pictures for a while, maybe an hour, then I'm done with the food pictures. But I love to see his experience in how much he loves the food and loves the experience of the restaurant, or the experience of how they got there, or why he ordered what he ordered. I love that. And so I love when people share stuff like that. So I'm going to put a post up after I get off live, and I'll post some of my own pictures so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. And then I want you to do the same and just put it in a comment and just say, hey, this was the story that goes with that. And this is what I loved. And this was a highlight of the year. And then journal and burn, baby burn, email it to me, and we'll do a burning session on Sunday. Okay. All right. So, oh, that's good. So Brittany says, this is the first year I've actually felt soul gratitude on the inside, especially around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Your email about recognizing what we really wanted to do around the holidays was an eye opener. Yeah, it is. It is an eye opener, because sometimes you realize like, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want my kids to do this. This isn't what I think Christmas is. And then you can choose differently. And sometimes it makes waves when you do that. Sometimes sharing your trips creates waves, and that's okay too. But it's your life, so you get to do what you want to do. So give me a couple highlights. What are some of your highlights that you did this year that stand out to you? So one of the pictures I'm going to share with you, I went to the Tetons, which I fucking loved. If you've never been to the Grand Tetons, go to the Grand Tetons. It was amazing. And we went to like Jackson Hole and stuff like that. And my sister-in-law and I went on, she met me for a couple days and we went on this hike, and it's called Hidden Falls. It's not really hidden. It's called Hidden Falls. And it was early summer. And so they were raging. It was raging. It was amazing. And the power of the water coming and the waterfall and the hike was so fun. And we had so much fun. It was like the perfect temperature. And we took all these great pictures. And she met this family from somewhere. Well, they were besties by the time that they were done talking, and we got pictures. And it was such a hilarious thing, because then on our way down, it started to rain, and then it started to thunder, and then it started to hail. And we were like, shit, we need to get down, because you have to take a boat across the lake. You can hike out, but at the moment we weren't prepared to do that hike. And so we had to wait in the rain, and this poor little kid was screaming and crying, and it was hilarious. We booked it so fast down that trail. And then part of my, and I'll post this picture, one of my favorite pictures was right after, and we are just all smiles. We're freezing, but we're all smiles, and we're soaked to the bone, and we're laughing because it was such an adventure. It was so fun. It was so fun. That was one of my favorite hikes of the whole summer. Zaina said, my trip to Seattle and cruise to Alaska. I have a lot of Alaska pictures too. Birth of my great granddaughter, of course. But I want you guys to focus on something personal for you. Okay. So no grandbabies, no families, no dogs, something about you. Okay. Put the necessary work to go back to court and have everything aligned, stood in my power against my ex, and was more conscious parent. And I listened to my body and rested. Beautiful. Love it. Went to Italy. So fun. Started grieving my grandpop who had passed 29 years prior. Yep. Travel is healing, you guys. It's so interesting how travel can, because it takes you out of your norm. It takes you out of your normal day to day. And I have found for me, I almost have to do that. It's why I go to my camper all the time, because I need to get out of my daily grind so I can see things differently. And so getting on the road and doing a little road trip, that's always fun for me. Chris says, oh, I love that. So Chris said, this 31 days of spirit has got me back into meditation 6 days in a row. Beautiful. So maybe you can have someone take a picture of you meditating and post that. Took a cruise to the Caribbean. I love that. We've done that. Super fun. Shondell said, learning to love being on the back of a motorcycle, exploring Superior and Duluth area. Oh my gosh, that must have been beautiful. I love Duluth area. I think it's so fun. Kathy, I love this. She said, I was able to finally heal my heart over the losses I have faced. That's a lot of work, isn't it? It's hard work to do that. And there's kind of a surrender to it. You kind of just got to surrender to it. And then the healing comes a lot easier. Love it. See, and I can't wait for you ladies to post the pictures that go along with some of the things that you've done this year, because I want you guys to really embrace what other people have done, because it might help you set some intentions for the new year. Okay. Linda said, I love sitting on my deck in the summer and doing spirit stuff. Me too, sister. I love that at the lake. I love when I'm there by myself and I can sit in my little screen porch and I can do whatever I want. I love that. CJ said, this was the year I got spiritual readings for the first time ever and found amazing info. I love that, of course. Carla said, I listened to my intuition and purchased a home on seeing pictures of it only online, and moved almost 700 miles to a new state. And you are thriving, sister. That was fun to be part of that piece. So Anne, I'm going to challenge you to look back on every month of last year and find something, because honey, you showed up. You showed up. Like, that's something special. It doesn't need to be a trip. It doesn't need to be, sometimes the thing that was a big deal for you is you showed up for yourself. Maybe you took a class. Maybe you got up every morning out of bed. Sometimes that's what it is, you guys. Sometimes it is that you just fucking made it through the year. I've had years where I'm like, oh my God, I can't remember which birthday it was. It was such a hard year. Oh my gosh. And I had a couple of hard years in a row, and it was such a hard year, and it was like a bad year. And I remember Sunny had left me a message, and she's like, listen, I know this is not the year you wanted or expected, but I need you to realize how much that you've shown up for yourself this year. So it could be stuff like that too, Anne. Okay. Doesn't need to be some big trip or something, you guys. Sometimes it's little things. Maybe you went for a walk every day. Maybe you paid attention to yourself. Maybe you stopped talking mean to yourself. Maybe you showed up for classes like this. Okay. Kristen said, did Reiki level 1 and 2 training now to use it? Yes, ma'am. Get your master too, Kristen. There's something about getting your master attunement. You should get that. When you can, do that. Went on a cruise, left out of NOLA, went to Mexico, came back, and went to Mardi Gras parades. Now that would be fun during the day, so it wasn't too wild. See, I'd have to go at night just to people watch. I found my new happy in Pensacola, Florida, visited twice this year. I have another client that's her happy too. She loves Florida. And she went for just like a week right before Christmas. And it just did so much for her energy. I just loved it. It is something, Anne. Little things are big things, you guys. Doesn't have to be a big trip or anything. A lot of times that's if you're on a trip and stuff like that's a big deal. But it can be just day to day. I took a breath every day. I showered. You know, I had a friend that lost a child. And I've had several people that lost children, and several of them had gone through this. And her big goal was she showered every couple of days, because there was just so much going on in her life. So there's a lot of different directions in this, you guys. Don't compare to other people. Therapy and other healing method for me. Looking forward to feeling great and doing fun things this year. Amen, sister. It's always good to do counseling or therapy or mentoring or healing or whatever you need to do. It always improves your life. I learned to set boundaries. I love that one. I do sister and niece's trip in the fall. Go to my sister's vacation home in Florida. Amen. Oh, cool. Very cool, Nancy. So she received her death doula certificate. That's awesome. And just imagine how many experiences you're going to have. What an honor. That's awesome. See, look at all the things you guys have done, and it's all over the board. So here's the challenge. Is do not compare yourself to others. As soon as you start comparing yourself, it drops your energy and it steals your joy. So it's a practice in doing this to get inspired, not compare or jealousy. And I struggled with that for a long time. Trust me. I used to have to stop following people when they were doing really well in the world. I would just stop following them because it would trigger me so much. And I just thought, okay, well, that sucks. And so I really had to work on that piece for myself. Oh, that's a fun thing. So I'd love to see pictures. So Toby said, going to the first wedding with my family since COVID, and we got to dance. So good to be with family and having fun together. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, comparison is really tough. And I really kind of grew up in comparison. Like that was just something that was really a hard energy for me to not compare myself to others. And I just grew up doing it. And so as an adult, that was something I really had to get over. And doing this work really helped me because I could see all those perfect people and perfect families and perfect houses and perfect trips and all the perfect that we see on social media. And I often get a glimpse behind the doors and I'm like, yeah, that shit's not perfect. You guys got all the shit going on that the rest of us have going on. You just don't see that because it's not the face we put on social media. So keep that in mind, friends. Keep that in mind. Everyone's got shit going on. All right, friends. So that is what I have for you today. I am losing my voice a little bit, so I'm going to save it a little bit here. Tomorrow I should be back in the She Shed. If you ordered a oh, good. And yeah, there you go. See, that's showing up for yourself, sister. So when you see me tomorrow, if you had a word of the year. It'll be sent out by tomorrow. I just want to have my stronger internet because otherwise some of you are going to get it, some of you are not, is what I'm finding. So I'm just going to wait till tomorrow. Eli's going to fix the cord tonight. So it's an easy fix. So we'll get that fixed. And if you don't get it tomorrow, make sure you reach out to me and I'll make sure that it's sent to you. Oh, you're so very welcome, Sandy. She said, I want to thank you for all the support this year for helping believe in myself. Can't do it by yourself, you guys. That's why I'm here. That's why I have Spirit School. I will be talking about Spirit School over the next few days too. We are putting together, some of you were interested in some private mentoring and group mentoring. And so we are putting that together through our Spirit School site. So I'll give you some details on that too. We're just kind of finishing that up. And I will get you all the information and links for that too. Okay. So we're going to be kicking off some stuff and post. I'll put the pictures up. You guys post something that inspired you about yourself this year. And then if you want to have a burning ceremony with me at noon on Sunday, send me an email. I put my email in the comments and in the subject line, put burn baby burn. Write down all your shit, you guys. Just dump it. And then I'm going to print it off and then I'm going to burn it for you on Sunday. Okay. Talk to you about being an empath. We can do that. I'll do that tomorrow for you. We'll talk about some of that, Sandy. I think I talked a little bit about it in some of the other past videos. So you might want to go back and check them, but I can talk about that more. Yep. And I will be back tomorrow at noon, Saturday at noon, Sunday at noon. And we will keep the 31 days of spirit going. Okay, friends? All right. I will see you soon. Tomorrow, check your emails. If you signed up for Word of the Year, they'll be sent out tomorrow. Probably, I would say by 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, just to give me some time, more than likely by noon. But I'm going to give myself time because Eli's got to dig out. He's got to dig in the dirt and all that shit. So I'll give him a few hours to do that. Okay, guys. I will post my pictures soon, and then you guys can put your posts up too and be inspired. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. See ya.